Hey everyone, One Big Boss here, and well, as you can tell from the title of the video down below, we are talking Power Rangers Super Megaforce, The Legendary War. This is kind of like my little take on like what had happened, and well, it's not really like the episode itself, but it's more of the backlash that it's getting in the Ranger fan base and all these like little Ranger things I belong to online. You know, I'm trying to explain this in the best way possible. And before I start, this is not like a slam against like anyone, actor, anything like that. It's more of like an observation and how I feel of why this was never going to work. Again, personally, I never thought this episode was going to work at all. I never thought it was going to work at all. I never thought it was going to be good. So, pretty much going to start off by saying, you know, this is something that's been amped up for a long time now. JDF, you know, he's exploded all over the internet with the last couple of years for everything he's been doing. He's got like over 1 million likes on Facebook. His fan base is worldwide, so he got a lot of people. You know, amped up for this whole new Legendary War thing. You know, and that's great. You know, but you also have to understand that like JDF is not just an actor and a martial artist and stuff. He is a businessman, and he's also a businessman with Saban. Now, here's the thing: Saban, that guy, he's got a lot of money. He took this Japanese franchise, turned it into this American version, took the Sentai and made it to American. It's a huge thing in the 90s. We all know about it. But you also have to understand, this was a guy who didn't really care about his workers and his fans, like and the people. He wants money. Now, when Power Rangers first aired, that was like a global thing. Like, everybody went nuts for it, you know, and the actors got paid complete jack shit. They got nothing for the roles they did, you know? And that's really sad, because they worked hard on it. Like, I've seen the interviews with, like, Austin St. John and a couple of the others, and they're saying, like, you know, it's like, well, I mean, we worked, like, 15, 16-hour days. If you want to understand, like, a lot of what the original Power Rangers had gone through with a lot of the shit that they had to deal with on set, go watch the Uncensored Talk with Karen Ashley, because she gets David Yost, Walter Jones, and Austin St. John together. They like, you know, they all came on the show. It's great. It's entertaining. It's funny. And Austin St. John, you know, he and the original Yellow Ranger and the original Black Ranger, they wanted a little bit more money for all the stuff they were doing. I mean, I don't think it was a large amount, because, you know, like, I mean, Austin St. John said, like, he and Walter Jones are, like, best friends. They were living in an apartment at the time during filming Power Rangers. And they had all said, you know, oh, well, you know, it's like, we made you all this money. Like, when they saw the numbers and the money that they made Saban because of Power Rangers, these public appearances, the merchandising, all that stuff, I would personally think that you deserve to give the hardworking people the money. And it wasn't just the actors that were getting screwed over. Austin St. John had also said that it was a lot of like the crew members that got screwed over as well in payment, you know. And like I said, Saban is a guy who's got all this freaking money, and he didn't give it to any of his actors. So when things went south, they left the show, and you got 3 new ones that came in to help out, you know, help out with the show and continue the successful line. Now, JDF never seemed to argue his paycheck on the show because of how popular the Green Ranger was, and then the White Ranger, he comes back as the White Ranger, and it's this whole thing, it's this whole mess. Like, everybody loves him, like, he gets like this whole like rebirth again, you know, and it's like, yeah, of course he's not gonna like complain, because he's sitting good. He's like the golden boy for Saban, and that's why he comes back to all these shows and stuff, you know, and Saban lets him do anything Power Ranger related, all that jazz, you know. And it's just sad that you got a guy who made so much fucking money and didn't care about the people working for him. And that's what I'm trying to get at with the rest of this. Now, the Super Megaforce thing, again, this was never meant to be more than a cash cow, a quick cash in on an idea that could have been something more. Now, you know, the Legendary War, you could have had that like a 3-parter, like all these intense battles, that kind of stuff. And from what I've found out, the Japanese version of that, like the original version, was not that great either. People were actually complaining about how that ended. I personally haven't seen it, but I saw the English one because it was on YouTube. Somebody had put it up there, and I watched it, and I was just like, this. I mean, you know, this wasn't good. Personally, I don't like Megaforce as it is because I think the people they chose to be the Rangers could be considered the worst actors of them all. It might not even be the actor's fault. It's probably the way the director wanted them to speak. You know, but it's so campy and cheesy in a way that it's like it leaves a bad taste in your mouth. It's not as entertaining as like the Power Rangers of yesteryear or yesterday, you know, like when they originally came out, which at times were extremely campy and stuff. I will admit that there were times, but you know, I just this was never meant to be more than a cash in and a cash cow. JDF promoted this thing for like 2 years. Everybody's getting hyped up. All these Rangers are coming back for it, you know, and people wanted more Rangers, and they can only put 10 on the set and everything. But you know, when that happened, you put that all on the set. Again, it's only a 22-minute episode, so what are you going to accomplish in that entire time? Do you really think you're going to do something good within 22 minutes? Highly doubtful. Extremely highly doubtful. And just the way it all ended was just... Again, it left a bad taste in my mouth. Like I said, not a fan of Megaforce by any means. It's probably like one of my least favorite series. I haven't liked the series in a long time. I never really watched a lot of like Time Force and Lightspeed Rescue, what was it, Wild Force, and what was the other one? There was another one too, but because after Power Rangers in Space, that's kind of like where I stopped watching the series, and then I would watch some episodes as the years went on as a kid, and I was like, not really into it. But recently on Netflix I watched Lost Galaxy, Lightspeed Rescue, started the one, what's that one now? Drawing a complete blank. Oh, Time Force, which I like. Time Force is pretty dark, and that's the thing. They went from, it is a kid's show, but it had dark themes in it, and Megaforce is just so cheesy and campy that you don't get that same feeling. Same with like the Ninja Storm and a lot of the other ones that came after, like when I think it was like Disney or Nickelodeon or whatever that got a hold of, like, to show that in the direction it took. But Saban, again, is still making money. Now, I know it seems like I'm attacking him and stuff like that, but, you know, again, this is a guy who enjoys making money. He has profited for over 20 years in the business. But, as a lot of the former actors and writers and a lot of other people have said, he doesn't care. He pays shit money, and he's got the money. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say, well, that's why he's got money, because, you know, he doesn't spend money. That's why he keeps it all. That's why he has money. And it's like, yeah, well, you know... it's not the way to be in a business. You know, if you're gonna... It'd be one thing if the actors and the writers and directors were asking for outrageous amounts of money. But they weren't. They were asking to be paid like decent human beings. And again, this episode was never meant to be glorious, fantastic, anything like that. It had its moments. Some things were really cool, like where, you know, the Rangers all, like, you know, JDF and all the others said thank you, you know, we've left a legacy in your hands kind of stuff. And then at the end of the battle, where they're all like walking off and everything like that, and you know, they're all walking off, and the main guy, he puts the sword in the sand and stuff, and I'm like, wait, does that mean they're done being Rangers? I mean, like, I get it, like in every like series, like they stop being Rangers, but they always seem to come back in crossovers and shit. I don't know. Personally, to me, I wanted to tell people they shouldn't have expected anything like I did. I wasn't really expecting this to be a big thing, and I called it right because I saw what was wrong with it, like as in these last 2 years since it's being promoted. So again, don't be mad like that it was a very terrible episode. You know, you have to understand that this was just something that was going to happen, and the nostalgia, the hype, Jason David Frank, everything like that just kind of blinded you from the actual truth. You know, again, that's just my 2 cents on it. Maybe you liked it. And if you liked the episode, I'm not gonna hate on you. You know, I'm not gonna say that you shouldn't have liked it. You're an idiot for liking it. No, I'm not gonna be like that at all. No, because that's not what I do. I'm just trying to help people understand why, in my eyes and a lot of other people's eyes, they shouldn't have gotten hyped up about this. Because I met other people who feel the same way I do and have said the same thing. So again, sign off down below. Let me know what you thought about the episode and everything and all that jazz. You know, let me know what you think, because I'd like to hear some more opinions from a lot of people. Now, please try to not be a douchebag. and everything. I can't stand the douchebag comments and the idiots that attack other people and attack me personally. It's not professional. So, you know, other than that, you know, thanks everybody for watching. Thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel because it's free in this day and age. Free's a damn good thing. As always, everybody, I'm One Big Boss. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.